And you're seeing this, you said again, since we are, you're seeing this repeating now with your own son as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, in his case, it's more Star Wars stuff, I guess.
Okay.
Or, and Star Wars Minecraft stuff, He'll sit reading his little Minecraft encyclopedia for just hours. He'll sit reading an encyclopedias are quite big, sort of list of every character in Star Wars and excruciating amounts of background detail on some character that was like on screen for 2 seconds in Empire Strikes Back.
But as a kid, it's that world you want to build, that completion of that world in your head.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's possible now. Again, sort of back in our day, you sort of had to do more of it yourself, but now we've had 30 years of geeks running the global entertainment industry. If you want to know the name of that robot that was on screen for 2 seconds, you can not only learn his name, you can read a 12-volume novel series about him, probably.
Well, it's not until Marvel have made a film for every, Disney have made a movie for every Star Wars character that ever was.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, talking to you then about, because obviously you say it was quite an instinctive thing for you then to go on and create your own panels or pages.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm really fascinated in how you work now, how you start to put together, because you work in a serial fashion as well with the Phoenix comic.
Yes.
And how you start to put together your stories. Can
Well,
you give us some background?
so with something like Mega Robot Bros, which is my strip I do at the moment for the Phoenix.
This beautiful thing?
Yeah, coming soon. It's I sort of, because we, it can't be that spontaneous, because it's a comic, you have to sort of plan around what else is going to be in the comic, what page spaces you've got, you have to sort of schedule things in, so we sort of tend to work quite far ahead, working out the grand picture of the story, like what's going to be happening overall. But then, once that's locked down, then I just get down to sort of sitting and doodling and, drawing robots hitting each other and saying funny things.
So it starts visually. It starts with
well, it's sort of it goes back and forth. You know what I mean? It's sort of because I am and have been for a long time. I've drawn comics and I've always read comics. I don't have, I think, much of a distinction between the words and the picture. In my head, I just see the characters doing stuff and saying things, and then you're just trying to sort of capture that. So you're doodling and writing at the same time. You know what I mean? You're telling a story through the words and the pictures.
Completely complementary fashion.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, and so there isn't really that distinction, which is a nice thing about it. Because,
but a single panel, then I guess, can go through a number of different drafts, or drafts.
I tend to start out very, very rough, scribbly, loose. Just sort of complete. No one except me would ever be able to tell what it is. Sort of level of messiness, you know what I mean? And then it's sort of a process of just sort of tightening that up, really, getting it to the stage where at least my editors can tell.
Yeah, I was going to say, what point does the dreaded editor step in and start to put red pen?
Sort of rough, loose scribbles, but with the characters' sort of dialogue being clear and readable, is enough. We've found for the editors to go on and sort of follow what's happening. You can, if the words are readable, anything can work as a comic. Sort of, you can draw it with your feet, but if the words are readable, that you'll be able to sort of follow what the characters are saying. I've found, and also the editors sort of been working with them for a couple of years now, so sort of trust that roughly know what I'm doing. It won't look like that, the final version.
And how much time now, when you read, as a reader now, I mean obviously comics are still a big part of your life, do you find yourself veering more to comics solely as a reader? Do you read a lot of, do you read prose? What's the sort of split in terms of...
well, I have a giant stack of unread comics actually at home, because I love comics and I get really excited about them, but often, like, at the end of the day, when I've been drawing comics all day, I don't necessarily want to read comics. I want to read, and I work at long hours as self-employed creative people do. I have a kid, so hours for reading are few and far between, so I sort of try and basically it takes me 6 months to read a book at the moment. So, prose, since I was a kid, comics were part of what I read and part of what I loved, but they weren't the whole thing. And I think that there can be seen as being quite a distinction between comics and prose, or comics and sort of just pure textbooks, comics and proper books. And I never saw that, and unfortunately, I don't think anyone ever tried to sort of force that on me when I was a kid. I read my comics, and because I was just naturally being led on into reading other stuff.